I don't know what it is. It's fine.
Truth.
It should be where it is. All right, and we'll call to order the town board meeting at the Town of Lisbon Town Hall on Monday, October 14th, 2019 at 6:31 p.m. Now roll call, please.
Supervisors Dominio,
Here.
Klotecker,
Here.
Chairman Osterman,
Here.
Supervisors Moonen and Beal are excused.
All right, we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, item 3 is comments from citizens present. You, Mike.
Michael R. Riley, West 259, North 9116, State Road 164. Some of you know me from past appearances. I'm the president of the Sussex-Lisbon Area Historical Society, and I'm also the director of the Sussex-Lisbon Area Historium Museum. Last year, I came to the Town of Lisbon board for the first time asking for funding to help with our budget. I asked for $5,000 last year. We got into the November meeting where it was voted down by the town board, unfortunately. This year, I come once again, and I did send out an email ahead of time to Joe and to Gina, asking again for $5,000 to be applied to our budget, which is about that in the hole right now again, plus an additional $5,000 to be applied and used strictly for any digitizing project work we do next year. We've become involved with the Pauline Haas Public Library personnel and with the state of Wisconsin in coming up with projects to digitize. And the library is more than happy to work with us to help train us and digitize a lot of Fred Keller's work, among other things that we have. So this year I'm asking the board to add in a total of $10,000, and I'm going to ask that it be done in 2 steps. One, $5,000 to be applied to our normal budget, yearly budget, and the other $5,000 to be used for any digitization project work that comes up for us next year. I'm looking at possible additional computer software storage, computer storage, digital storage, scanner perhaps, and other things that may come up with us. None of the money, that money, would be used by the Pauline Haas Public Library at all. It would be strictly funds that we would use. With the state of Wisconsin, the State Historical Society, moving towards more digital work. This is something that our group feels is necessary in the future to begin this, but we also need some help in funding this. By the way, I'm also asking the village of Sussex for additional funds in the way of covering our heating and cooling expenses during the year, which amounts to about $3,000. So far I haven't heard anything, but I know their budget process is totally different than what the town of Lisbon has. So I will come to your meetings. I guess the next one is October 21st. I can talk more about it. If you have a budgetary planning meeting that day, I'd be happy to sit in with it. And I'd also like to come to the November, I think it's 14th meeting, for the vote on the budget. So, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mike. All right, item 4 is the consent agenda. Items listed under the consent agenda are considered in one motion unless a town board member requests that an item be removed from the consent agenda. We got the September 23rd, 2019 town board minutes, the operator's licenses, ordinance 14-19 Good Hope Road right-of-way detachment, ordinance 15-19 the Maple Avenue right-of-way detachment, ordinance 16-19 the Breitenbach property detachment, and ordinance 17-19 the Brown property comprehensive plan amendment. Does anyone have any questions on the consent agenda? Does anyone want anything removed, or is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Motion made by Becky. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tadia. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Item 5 is approval of bills.
You should have received the payment approval report in your packet. I'll read off the 5 top expenditures. First is for $54,590 to Farner Asphalt Sealers for crack filling contract, the second installment. Second is $35,942.50 to Kunkel for some stormwater agreements, some TID work, also some review on Hillside and Harvest Ridge. $14,893.34 to Premier Building Inspections, that's to the building inspector. $12,794.66 to the Village of Sussex for clean water loan interest and monthly ticket processing, and $10,271.20 to our attorney, Kramer, Maltoff, and Hammes.
Are there any questions on the check register? Yes. Anyone ready to make a motion on it?
I make a motion we accept the check register as presented.
Motion made by Becky. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tadia. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Item 6 is announcements and correspondence. I have the meeting schedule. Wednesday, October 16th will be the Sanitary District Committee meeting here at 7:30 at the Town Hall. On Monday, October 21st, there'll be a Park Committee meeting at 6:30 at the Richard Young Fire Station. There also will be a budget workshop here at the Town Hall, and more than likely a board meeting before that budget workshop. Monday, October 28th will be the next Town Board meeting after that at 6:30 at the Town Hall. November 6th will be a Department of Administration public hearing for Merton and Lisbon on the border agreement at 4 p.m. at the Richard Young Fire Station. November 11th will be the next Town Board meeting. The 13th, is it the 13th or the 14th will be the budget public hearing? It must be the 13th then. It says the 13th
I
here,
have the
so.
calendar right here. Let me check. It's a Wednesday, right? It's
Yeah.
the 13th.
So it will be the 13th then. 2020 budget public hearing and special town meeting, the electors at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall this year. And then November 14th will be a Plan Commission meeting at 6:30 at the Town Hall. And then 18th of November will be a Park Committee meeting at the Richard Young Fire Station. Does anyone else have any announcements or correspondence? The only other thing I have is the September 21st, 2019 Appliance Electronics Event Drop-Off Report, which we all have in our packet. Item 7, department reports.
I'll let Gina fill you in on the other pieces of her report, but just a reminder that there is a Department of Administration public hearing scheduled for Wednesday, November 6, 2019, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Richard Young Memorial Fire Station. Meeting has been announced on Channel 14, the website, and Facebook. And we encourage people to attend or to write a letter or email. This is a public hearing that is about the border agreement only. It is not about the incorporation efforts. And she has a link for more information on her report as well.
Thank you, Dan. Anything on the clerk's side?
I'm going to wait to hold off on. I wanted to talk about the joint public hearings for plan commissions and trying to get people together. I'll wait till everyone's here, but just the DOA has sent the population estimates for October, the finalized ones that didn't make it into your packet, but it's 10,523, and there's a little breakdown on mine that you guys didn't get, but I can share that with you guys. So
Okay.
that's it.
All right, I've got the fire department report, monthly statistics, the personnel, we had 54. We had 104 calls, 9 inspections. We had 14 trainings and 13 in education in September. Special activities and events. On September 9th, the fire department held a blood drive. And it doesn't say the date, but it says Lisbon stood by the Hamilton High School football games. That was all the Fridays that were their home games. 21st, a live fire training at Hillside House. Meetings attended by the chief on the 5th. A meeting with Dr. Shepard. On the 17th, the Hamilton High School meeting. On the 20th, a meeting with the Heartland Wedding Barn proposal. On the 23rd, a meeting with Chief Perrell. Also on the 23rd, a meeting with Pewaukee Fire Department. 24th, another meeting with Dr. Shepard. On the 25th, a meeting with the Land and Stone representative. On the 26th, an officer meeting. And on the 30th, sent Captain Drager to the Capital Budget Workshop here at the Town Hall. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the fire department report? All right, Parks Department.
So, John and staff have relined the Lisbon Oaks soccer field and sprayed all baseball infields for weeds. They've been aerating the sports field turf areas, and that's gonna be done next week. They shut down the water and drained out the water lines at the Town Hall Park and Community Park for the season. They've been cleaning the shelters before and after rentals. They installed a flagpole in Community Park by the Hilltop Shelter. They attended Greenfield Safety Days, an equipment seminar, continued to do garbage collection, worked on the 9/11 memorial lights, installed a memorial tree with a plaque in Community Park for Susie and Mike Bauer. They are watering the plant memorials in the park, continuing weekly mowing, doing equipment and fleet maintenance, working on budget, and attending budget workshops. That's it.
All right, any questions for Tadia? Thank you, Tadia. All right, the Public Works Department report.
All right. Month of September, the staff reset 5 storm sewers from them settling over the time and poor installation, I would say, at the beginning, but we reset 5 of those. We repaired that track on that track loader that was at the park, which we will end up selling. We talked about that a little at the budget workshops. We've had heavy rains, obviously, in the past month here, so taking care of washouts from those, trim branches within right-of-ways. We've been working at the compost site, obviously, to do our weekly duties as well as getting ready for the move, so we've been up there a lot lately. We've done some work on some fire trucks for the fire department. We had the recycling event on September 21st, so we prepped for that, cleaned up, set up the parking lot for all the totes and everything, and if you drove by it was kind of interesting, but worked out well. We had 2 members go to some tree cutting classes, and then we did start this month on trucks as far as plowing goes, so getting them ready, going through them, putting them on the hoist, doing preventative maintenance. I attended my monthly Waukesha County Public Works meeting. I attended 2 budget workshops throughout September. We had pre-con meetings for Harvest Ridge and Hillside Ridge, a conceptual meeting on a proposed development at Highway Q and North Road, continued my weed commissioner duties, met with residents as needed. I attended a flooding seminar, and then also obviously attended and helped at the recycling event we did, and continue to help the staff as I can in between my other duties. So that's about it.
Any questions for Joe? Thank you, Joe. All right, supervisor reports. Does anyone have anything to report at this time?
Nope.
All right, we have no unfinished business. Item 10, new business discussion, necessary action to adopt resolution 14-19, a resolution approving cooperative plan with the Village of Lannon. Does anyone have any questions on the cooperative plan? No? I'll make the motion that we approve resolution 14-19. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tadia. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Item B is discussion, necessary action on the Town Improvement Fund carryover monies and purchase requests. Gina isn't here. Let's just move this to the next, if everyone's okay with that, move this to the next meeting, which will probably be next Monday.
Yep.
All right. I'll make a motion to postpone that to the next meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tadia, no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Item C, discussion and necessary action to purchase 2 medium-duty patrol truck dump trucks with plow, wing, and salter package using sinking fund money.
All right. I don't know if you've had time to read through this a little bit, but I think we touched on it with the budget workshop where we have a little bit of a surplus in the sinking fund for trucks. So I had brought up that if you guys were okay with it, if I could make it all work and we could purchase 2 trucks, one would be replacing in our normal cycle our oldest truck in the fleet, and then the other one would replace one of the international trucks that we have been having, I won't say issues with, but that have been costing the town more money than any other truck in the fleet, or any other brand, I should say. So, and you guys kind of said, if I can do it, go ahead. So, a lot of number crunching, a lot of things going in my head and out of my head and all that, but it is doable. I've had a conversation with Joe. Fortunately, Mark obviously has been gone, so unable to kind of converse with him, but we talked a little bit about doing it, and it'd be not an issue. There would be, let's just say if we bought these 2 trucks, there would be a deficit after we used all the sinking funds of $53,000. And that is where the money from selling those 2 trucks would come back to the sinking fund. So normally when we sell the truck, it goes into the general fund, and it is what it is. But this time we kind of said there would be a special case where we could put that money back into the sinking fund. So after we were to purchase the 2 trucks with the plow package, it would come away with a deficit of roughly $53,900. So that means is I would need to sell these 2 trucks for $53,900. On trade-in alone, I could get $47,000. That's, trade-in, whatever. Selling them outright, I know we can get more than that. Easily, I can get $15,000 for the oldest truck we have. So then you take that off of there, and now you're down to roughly $38,000. And to get $38,000 for a 2012 tandem axle truck, I'm not worried about it at all. I feel that once we do this, I'll be able to get more than $53,000. In a perfect world, I might get $70,000 total, and we end up putting $17,000 roughly back into the sinking fund as a positive. So this would just be worst case scenario. We break even after this is all done, but I feel we can come away with money in the sinking fund. So that's kind of step 1 in this whole scenario, and then step 2 is probably more importantly the trucks that you see, the quotes. So if you read through my spiel a little bit, we've had good luck with both of these brands of trucks, Peterbilt and Mack. The thing we get from the Mack, and that's kind of why I'm presenting going with Mack this time, and they are a little more money, but we do own a Mack. We've had almost 0 problems with it in the 5 years we've owned it. But Mack provides and it's the local dealer in Wisconsin here, provides a great service where they have a serviceman that comes around, will scan your truck whenever you need it, no charge for the life of the truck. And mind you, we own 1 Mack truck at the moment. So we can only imagine if we do have 2 more, will it get better? Probably not. I mean, it's just that good already, and we're getting treated that good that I know if we do have issues or anything, they'll take care of us. And then they also have a mobile parts guy that drives around. He'll come sit with you. If you're going to do a bigger project on the truck, they'll break down all the parts for you, go through it, make sure we're on the same page, that I'm not on one end of the phone, he's on the other, and we order the wrong stuff, and it's like, oh, that ain't what we needed. He'll be there with us. And they already visit us bi-monthly almost, and and they're not pressured. They're just there to make sure we're happy. And they set us up on the computer with a program where we can have the VIN number with the truck. You can break down every part of the truck and find out if they have it in stock in Milwaukee, any other dealerships, Peterbilt, International, any of our other brands that we currently own. That's a fee. You pay for that kind of stuff. With Mack, it's all included. That's one thing they push with their dealership, is to have their face out there and be very good, and it is awesome. And is it worth that? To me, it is. And when we break down, I kind of was just sitting here doing the math. You break down what it costs a year, because in essence, at minimum, we're going to keep this truck for 15 years. So if you break down that difference between the Peterbilt and the Mack, it's roughly $153 a year. And I mean, just driving to the dealership to go to Peterbilt when these guys would come to us for anything is gonna, one trip there with wages, fuel, and everything, it covers that. So when you kind of look at it that way and break it down over the life of the truck, it's simple. Now, I think we're gonna stick with Peterbilt's and Max going forward here. We've kind of come to that conclusion. I think everybody's on board with that plan right now. Anyways, obviously things change over time, but do I come to you in 2-3 years and say, well, it went really good, we're doing this again or not? I don't know, but I'm not worried about the truck itself. I mean, the truck, Peterbilt or Mack, will both run great. It's just right now what we're going to get from Crete, which is the local dealership, is unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but above and beyond what JX would give us. So that's kind of my thing. Another thing Joe and I talked about, where if you're going back to the sinking fund and you say, I'm a little nervous about that money being, too close. We did talk about the truck that we would replace in 2022 is a tandem axle truck. The cost of a tandem axle is a little more than a single. And if, push come to shove, it gets tight, we said we would push that truck off one more year to 2023. So in essence, that would mean by 2023, we would have roughly a hair over $300,000 in the sinking fund. A new tandem is roughly $220,000. It'd leave us that surplus of $80,000. And it would kind of reset the table and put us back to where we are now, where we have a surplus in there. And then going forward, we would get back on that 2-year cycle and have a little extra money in there for, heaven forbid, a motor or something serious that would happen on a truck or something. But either way,
It would push if we're looking at the replacement plan, if we did that 1 year, for a few years, it would push some of the trucks back an extra year. But then with that 2012, we bought 3 in 1 year, it would actually bring it back.
And we kind of said by buying 2 next year. I mean, in essence, we're here today and it's 2019. These trucks aren't really, I won't see these trucks till basically this time next year. That's why we got to get the ball rolling, unfortunately. It's mostly for the bodybuilder. If he could build them in 2 months, put the body, the wing, and plow, this wouldn't be an issue. I could wait till January. They're longer than the truck getting built. He's like 8 months. So if I can get it by March, which is where we're at right now, with both Mack and Peterbilt, they're very similar. Then it gets out to Madison for that, and then hopefully by October, November, we see it before next winter. But so that's why we get this ball rolling early. But it would be buying 2 trucks kind of buys us 2 years, right? Because we buy 2 instead of 1. But then if we pushed off that other truck, we would lose a year, but in essence, we'd still be 1 year ahead after that's all said and done. So I didn't want to totally say, yes, we'll do that in 2023, push that truck off, because that truck is a 2006. So, I mean, I don't know 2 more winters. It just told Joe we'll talk about it at Budget Workshop and make sure we're okay with pushing it off 1 more year. But I did want to at least leave the door somewhat open where, hey, this truck's not going to make it another winter. Can we move that up? But I'm totally willing to try and push that off an extra year, and then it buys us 1 more year. So
Now, do we have enough to cover this? The monies you're talking about with the sinking fund, I didn't ask this earlier, but that's assuming the money we're putting in for 2020.
Correct.
So you would be ordering this, we'd be paying for it next year?
Correct. It would be, and the first installment of Burke's package is, roughly $40-some thousand. What do they have? Burke, they do a 1.5% discount to the town if they pay 1/2 of the equipment price at the time of the order. So, in essence, he'll let me pencil that in now, but then let's say January 1st, I put 1/2 down. So this is all progressive. I mean, we're not just lump sum right away dumping the 300-some thousand. So, yeah, the money will be in there at all times for this all to happen, and it shouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
So, I guess the main question is, are we cool with the 2 trucks, which I think we kind of established that last time, but the more important probably is, are you guys kind of okay and understand where we're coming from with spending a little more money on that, getting that service? And if you guys are cool with all that, then I'd like to purchase the 2 Mack trucks and go from there.
Joe and I were in agreement on the Mac. I mean, it's nothing against Peterbilt whatsoever, but I mean, we were talking about, everything from the DEF system to everything else, and, we're talking a decimal fraction, decimal point here, actually, in the dollars and cents, and I believe we could you're supposed to justify if you're going higher, and I think we can with the service and with the DEF system and such. I mean,
and they were significantly higher than this, and I brought him in. I said, hey, we like the truck and I can push for it, but I can't push for it when he was $10,000 apart. I'm not even wasting my time. I mean, I wouldn't do that to town, but he came and he really sharpened the pencil and got it this close for me. So this is as good as he can get it, but like I said, if you break that down over 15 years, it's pretty minimal. So
What do you think, Becky?
Fine with me. I think if Joe thinks they're the better truck, then that's fine.
I trust Joe's judgment, and I think that the difference is nominal. My only question was, and sorry, but I know that after we talked at the budget
yeah.
meeting about the trucks you wanted, we made some adjustments. This was not one of those adjustments?
Correct.
Okay, that was my only hesitation.
No, that was not.
Okay.
This. Okay.
All right.
Well, so the total you're going to need is $384,290.90.
Correct. That would be with the trucks and then the plow package as well, which that, right now we're really focusing on just getting the trucks ordered.
Mm-hmm.
The Burks thing is when we get them, which is until spring. But as a total, yes, that's what they'll be, lock, stock, and barrel. For two.
Well, I'll make the motion that we approve the purchase of 2 Mack GR42F Granite Patrol trucks and the Burke Truck Patrol Truck Package for not to exceed amount of $384,290.90. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Becky. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Item 11 is adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're out at 6:58.